Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Mystic Destinies Serendipity of Aeons. We're here, we finished with Shinji's route, and we finished with Tatsuya's route. So now we're gonna go to Takumi Route. The free spirit of Takumi comes from a human family that cautions him against getting involved with the mystical world he finds so fascinating. Though Takumi respects his family's reasons, he has no intention of cutting ties with the supernatural world. Instead, he leads a secret nightlife only those closest to him know about. We're gonna go with our boy, as I've fallen in love with him within Tatsuya's route. So it was really kind of hard for me to fall completely in love with Tatsuya, besides him being mean to me. So, Twilight Falls. Again, my computer is completely laggy and I have no idea why. Sorry. I can't choose. How can you expect me to just make a decision like that? I need time to process all this. I gesture to everything and everyone around me. Sorry, Michiko, but I can't do that. You're almost literally a ticking time bomb. If I let you go like this, you'll be risking other people's lives. And I can't let you do that. Please just choose. Seeing the firm look on Hikaru's face, Don't worry, Hikaru, I'm about to come for you. I take a step back. I feel cornered and suddenly the large basement feels all too small. I glance towards the elevator in desperation, but Hikaru's eyes follow my gaze. Chico, I need you to calm down a little. Like I said before, any of these guys know enough to teach you. They won't harm you. We just want to make sure you and everyone else is safe. Hikaru takes a step towards me and I take another one back. For some reason, my heart is pounding and I feel short of breath. I just need some time. Please! I shut my eyes just for a few minutes, wishing that all of this would just go away. I feel my body burning up again. I open my eyes to see nothing but light again. Oh God, not again. I have the strangest feeling this time, though. I feel tingles all over my entire body like it's fallen asleep. Did someone sleep dart me? It feels like I can feel every cell in my body, yet my consciousness feels like it's moving far away from my body. I feel like part of me is standing back against the wall, but another part of me is starting to get the sensation of falling? What the hell is happening? I feel air rushing around me. I snap open my eyes wide. Well, this is loud! I see the evening sky and the city spread out before me. I'm so stunned and confused that at first I don't react. Then the fear kicks in when I look down and see the university sidewalk beneath me. I start screaming. Someone in yellow below me looks up. I can see their mouth becoming a perfect Uh-oh. They spread out their arms in an awkward position, half to catch me, half to protect themselves. That's the last thing I see before impact. Ugh. In movies, sometimes they talk about someone cushioning another's landing, but the word cushion is the furthest word away from my mind when I think of how to describe this. Hitting him felt like slamming into a rock, and now we're sprawled out on the ground. LOL! Damn it! That hurts! I slowly push myself up and realize I'm pushing into the chest of someone. Someone I know. Takumi? My God, I'm so sorry. Wait, how did this happen? Why were we falling? Takumi lifts his head, looking at me and gritting his teeth. I notice tears in his eyes. Could you please move your knee? I glance towards my knee and realize it's right in his crotch. Uh-oh. I roll off Takumi and look at him, desperately apologetic. I'm so sorry, Takumi. I didn't. Oh, this is bad. I splutter trying to get the words out. Takumi just lies his head back against the concrete and lifts up one finger. I just seriously need a few minutes, please. Yeah, right. Okay, sorry. I stand up and check myself for injuries. My pants are a little torn and scraped, and I feel bruised in some places, but I don't seem to have any broken bones, thanks to Takumi. Takumi slowly gets up, seeming to lack all the energy I'd seen from him in the past. Oh man, I'm sorry, Takumi. Takumi checks himself for injuries, but he doesn't appear to have any, which is impressive in itself. I guess rolling like that helped spread out the force. Then a thought occurs to me. Did he somehow do that on purpose? He looks up and our eyes meet. How do I even explain? Did you just fall from the sky? Yeah, I think so. There's a brief silence and then he says something completely unexpected. Is this the part where I ask if you're a fallen angel or something? What the heck? Don't you mean that I fell from heaven? I'm pretty sure a fallen angel would be considered a devil. Takumi laughs and it's an unexpectedly refreshing sound. It makes me relax a little and I give him a small smile. Oh! He bends down to pick something up. These are your glasses, right? Oh yeah, thanks. I slide them back onto my face. Takumi stares at me as I do it. What? Takumi stares at me as I do and it makes me a little self-conscious. So you want to tell me what happened just now? Oh, since it's like maybe like over a drink or dinner or something. Is he asking me out? I become flustered and try to think of a response. But then he runs a hand through his hair and sighs. Never mind. What am I thinking? You look like you're barely standing. How about I take you home instead? I hesitate. I left my bag in the other room, but it's not like I could go and get it. How did we get in this situation? Is what I'm wondering. I suddenly get scared that the others are out looking for me. I hurry and nod to Takumi. Sure, I'd appreciate it. But do you mind if we hurry? I want to get home quick. Takumi seems to be examining me, but he says nothing. Sure, come on, let's go. I'm in the parking garage. A student having a car in the city? That's kind of strange. He must be super rich. Wait, does she not remember? He's our childhood friend yet? We walk along at a good clip until we reach the parking garage. I never heard of that term. Wait here a sec. Takumi runs off before I can say a word. A few minutes later, I hear a motor and see Takumi approaching on a white scooter. I can't help but smile. Okay, that makes much more sense. Takumi pouts a little at me. Are you laughing at my scooter? What? No, not really. I mean, I just thought you had a car. A car would just be a hassle. You can't get into small spaces with a car. I bought this with my money this year, and we've already been through a lot together. I get the feeling this is going to be one of those speeches about how much a man loves his car, or a scooter. I decided to cut that off quick. It's fine, I'm sorry. Scooters do make a lot more sense. They're more cheaper. More environmentally friendly too. I gingerly get on behind Takumi. I did not sign up for this. At least, I'm wearing pants today. Take my helmet. I've only got one, so... Are you sure? I'd feel really bad if something happened to you. It's more likely to happen to you if you were inexperienced. I guiltily take the helmet from him and put it on. Alright, you better hold on tight. Don't be shy. I place my hands a little higher and try to keep a reasonable distance. I do my best to make sure nothing in particular is pressing up against his back. Most of our ride is uneventful, and I think that Takumi is being considerate of me. I can't imagine what he thinks about what happened earlier. When we get to my apartment building, he slows to a stop. I get off and hand the helmet to him. You did well. You've ridden one before, haven't you? Or at least on the back of one? Yeah, a little. Oh, he's sad. Thinking we rode up with some other guy. Takumi stares at me and I have to wonder what he's thinking. I can swear he looks like a little pouty again, but I can't imagine why. Well, you were the first girl to got to ride with me, so he gives me a thumbs up. Congratulations! That's so cute! He gives a little laugh and I feel myself getting red again. But then he gets serious. Hey, you're from the other world, aren't you? Huh? Other world? Takumi stares hard at me again and then he pulls out his phone. Somehow you're new to all of this, right? Don't worry, I know about that world too. So if you ever want to tell me what happened or need some help, he types something into his phone and then shows me. It's his name, number, and email in an unsent text message. I'll send this to you if you type in your number. He holds out the phone and I take it. I look at Takumi and then at the phone. Start typing in my number and I hit send on the text myself. So just remember, I can help if you want. Just let me know. He puts on his helmet and waves at me. All I can do is watch as he speeds off into the sunset. The moment I stepped inside my apartment, it felt like all the events of the day caught up to me. I nearly collapsed then and there, but somehow managed to drag myself into bed. My whole body feels heavy, too heavy to move, so I don't even try to change into something else. I flop onto the bed with a deep sigh. I lay on my back and with my eyes on one particular spot on the ceiling. No matter how much time ticks away with me laying still like this, my heart doesn't stop frantically beating away against my ribs. Even though I try not to think of anything, my mind floods with images of earlier today. The memory of feeling trapped and the way that Professor Kasama looked at me. I shiver at the still very fresh image of his cold, aqua eyes. Gonna make him pay for that, by the way. It doesn't seem like he was going to let me go at all. And I don't know what happens to people who don't cooperate. To people who just run off like that, even if it wasn't intended. What if they do something to me? My stomach twists at the thought. I don't want to find out. I don't know enough about magic. I don't know enough about their world to even guess what they might do to me. They weren't going to leave me a choice. The professor was insistent that I choose. All I wanted was to think about it for a little. Part of me wants to lay in bed for eternity. If I don't ever move, then everything should be fine. If I can't die, then lying here forever shouldn't be a problem. If I pretend I don't exist, then it's all fine. Just thinking that, I know it's a lie. I would never be fine. None of this would ever be fine. I can't go back to Hagiwara. I have no doubt that they're pissed off at me for disappearing like that. How did I disappear, though? They'll try to force me to choose again. But I really don't know. And if they force me into something like that, what else will I be forced into? A cult. That's what they're gonna do to us. Isn't it enough that that woman forced me into this situation in the first place? I sigh and close my eyes. Being angry about it feels so exhausting and pointless. Can I ever go back to being normal? I mumble the question to the empty room. I wish there was someone who would tell me that everything can be fixed with a simple flick of some magic wand. Sigh. I can't go back there. At least not yet. I need some time to think things through. I need to think about so much. Like, if I'm at all human or what. Once I figure out what to do, I can go back. I'll have to drop out of school in the meantime. Whoa, wait, this Rush just drops out of school? Holy, I can't tell anyone about this. Definitely not my family. What would I say anyway? Oh, sorry, Dad. I'm dropping out because magic is real and what? I turn over to my side. Why did you do this to me? Why did you just leave me like that? You messed up everything. Didn't even ask or explain. Threw me right into the deep end. Thanks so much, Mother. Really loving all this right now. I take deep breaths to try and calm the swirling mass of negative energy and anger. It's hard to chase away the image of her from my mind. My vision starts to blur as the world around me starts to spin. Deep breaths. Breaths. The head feels light. A strange burning sensation builds in my chest. Uh-oh. I'm going cray with this power. I can barely breathe. My ears ring so loud that I can barely hear myself think. I want to claw at my chest to stop the burning. Something shifts inside me, and my whole body starts to tingle. No, 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 no! Not again, please. Not again. I force myself to sit up. The lights flicker as I move. Hot and cold, I can't stop shivering. Gasping for breath, I push myself up, stumbling as I take a step forward. I lean against the wall to hold myself up. Everything around me seems to shake as I move through the room. Even speaking feels like a struggle. I hear something shatter behind me. I need to stop this. I fumble around in my pockets with a single thought in mind. I need help. I hear something fall and break out in the living room. I rest my back against the wall. With shaky fingers, I call the only person who I can think of to help me. Tears drip onto my smartphone screen. I don't know what I'm feeling anymore. All my emotions are so tangled together that I can't tell sadness from anger, joy from pain. I need to reach out to Takumi. He's the only one who might be able to help without tying me down. I press call and quietly listen to the endless ringing on the other end of the line. It keeps on ringing. Once. Twice. It's not picking up. Pick up! Come on, pick up! It rings and rings, but there's no answer. The call ends before it can even begin. I stare down at my phone. My hand shakes so much that I can barely hold on to it. What do I do now? I close my eyes and focus on my breathing. In and out. In and out. I had the best burgers, by the way. Kidding about the joke. But In-N-Out seriously has good burgers. The massive miasma of emotion weighs down on me and I can barely breathe. My heart feels as if someone set it aflame. Oh, can't take this. I need to think about something else. Anything else. My thoughts turn to my little sister and I desperately cling to the image of her happy smile in my mind. Kayo. Kayo, I wonder how she's doing. Ugh. I wonder how school is for her. Memories of the last time that we got to spend together as a family brings forth an image I wanted to avoid. Those green eyes staring down at me, so vivid and bright, yet so completely cold and void of emotion. A similar sort of coldness behind Professor Kasama's eyes, ones that told me I wasn't getting a choice in my own fate. He's so pretty though. A sharp pain pierces through my heart at the thing I had been trying not to think about. I don't have a choice in any of this. No one gave me one. I feel what little control I had over myself begin to slip from my grasp. I have no idea what might happen when I do lose control, if I'll just blow up again like in the classroom. But I know that I can't stay here. I need to get somewhere where there's little chance of me hurting someone else. I force my body to move against all protest. I need to get outside. Now. Well, Takumi probably didn't pick up because he does that night job. I barely make it down the stairs before my legs give out. I drop to my knees and tumble sideways, painfully hitting the ground with a thump. My whole body refuses to respond. I try to stand up, but it's as if I'm trapped within myself. And yet the strange feeling inside me, the feeling of something rapidly uncoiling and going out of control continues. I try to grasp onto the feeling within me, fighting, pulling it back inside. But for all my effort, I might as well be trying to catch water between my hands. Whatever it is, it's quickly slipping out from my grasp. The world around me seems to shift and blur. I lie completely motionless. But at the same time, it feels like I'm floating somewhere. Nowhere. My vision fades. The only thing I see is faint outlines of my surroundings. Darkness takes over everything. The world grows quiet. I can't hear a single thing. I feel my consciousness being smothered bit by tiny bit. No, I don't. Something or maybe someone claws at me. I don't want this. Pushed and pulled, all I want to do is open my eyes. Stop! I stare up at the night sky. I'm awake? Can't move. I barely gather my thoughts before I can feel the haze come to devour me again. I'm floating. Somewhere. Nowhere? Am I disappearing? It feels like I am. Slowly yet so rapidly at the same time. Isn't that a contradiction? I just want to what? What do I want to... What do I want? Stop. To be me. I want to come back to myself. I want to go back to be the me that I was before this. Before everything. Before she changed me. Please. Just let me be me. I open my eyes to see someone in a pair of heavy black boots move towards me. The footsteps look heavy, but they make no sound. Instead, it seems my heart beats away like a drum to fill in the silence left behind left behind by the footsteps. I can only watch as the person gets closer to me. No, please. I don't need any more trouble. With me laying completely helpless on the ground as my powers slowly go completely out of my control, I can't even speak. I can't warn anyone to stay away from the ticking time bomb that is me. There's no telling what might happen to any poor soul that got close enough to me. The boots stop right before my eyes, close enough that I can see the dirt on them. Before I can so much as scream in my head, a familiar face pops down into my view. It's our boy! Hey! Takumi. I'm crying! Not my character's crying first before he does. His name on my lips feels so sweet somehow. My voice sounds so strained and strange, that I barely recognize myself. Takumi gently rolls me from my side onto my back and kneels down next to me. Just saying his name left me completely exhausted. I stare at him, desperately hoping that he might somehow understand me through my eyes. Please, Takumi, I don't know what to do. He carefully examines me and sighs. It's okay. You're okay. You're so sweet! The guy that I don't need right now. Well, I do need him after what Tatsuya put me through. I'm here now. Everything will be okay. Takumi's voice is so gentle, so soothing that a part of me wants just to give in and relax. I want to. Another part of me refuses to give in, fearing the loss of the tiny grip of control that I managed to grab. What if I don't want to hurt anyone? Perhaps sensing my reluctance, Takumi slowly reaches out and strokes my hair with a smile. Despite his calm words and gentle touch, my heart jumps. fighting back, refusing to give into serenity. It'll be okay, Michiko. I'm going to do something that will make you calm down. Might feel a little pain. Is that okay? What are you doing? I nod, somehow pulling myself together long enough to give an answer. Inner turmoil be damned. Above all, I get the feeling that I can trust in Takumi. Takumi comes closer to me and carefully pulls me. What? Pulls me up onto his knees in his arms. Resting against him like this, I can almost hear his heart. My voice went out. Heartbeat. I feel a sudden pinch in my wrist. The pain comes and goes so fast that I barely register it. What did he do? Did he just pinch me? All this tension slowly trickles away. The world starts to feel a little fuzzy, but I don't want to let go just yet. My breathing is heavy, but it no longer feels like a struggle. Whatever it is Takumi did to me, I start to regain control of my body, even with my consciousness slowly dripping away. Dripping or dripping? Slipping. I look up at Takumi as he lies me back down on the ground. With his face so close to me and no impending doom looming over me, I've taken every little detail of his face. A feeling of familiarity comes rushing back to me, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I must write it off as me only feeling that way towards him because we already met a few times. Because he helped me when I fell out of the sky. But it's different somehow. Why do I trust him so easily? Why do I feel like I know him? Takumi moves to stand up, and my body reacts on its own, grabbing onto his jacket sleeve. I want to say it, but the words don't come out. Don't leave me. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. He quickly kneels down again with his back facing me this time. Takumi pulls my arms over his shoulders and my legs around his waist. With that little strength I have left in me, I manage to hold on to him. He easily carries me back up the stairs. Takumi is such babe. He might just be number one. While Takumi carries me like this, I get a strange thought. Being carried like this, to view from this sort of angle, the white hair. It all feels so familiar and yet different all the same. Takumi lays me down on my bed that feels so much more comfortable than the cold, hard ground outside. I look up at his cute, worried face. Even though I'm exhausted, I can't stop my smile when I look at him. Aku? What? Have we met before? They finally remembered. Oh! Takumi sits down on the very edge of the bed. I can't believe it. You really remembered? Yeah, you're the little shrimp of a kid I grew up with. A stifle yawn. I'm not much of a shrimp anymore, though. No, you're really not. Still, I remember how you used to try and carry me piggyback sometimes when I got too tired. Mother got so mad. Mother, the woman I would like more than anything to forget, but cannot. Even if I don't want to admit it, her shadow might haunt me forever. My mom always acted angry, but I think she was really proud of me for taking care of you. There'd always be a little smile on her face, even though she tried to hide it. I yawn and smile. My eyes are starting to feel so heavy. My mom was so cool. I like to see her sometime. But you look so different now. Your eyes. Yo, is mother gone? Is his mom gone too? Exhaustion hits me like a ton of bricks as I'm reaching out to touch his face. My hand falls, hitting the bed with a tiny bounce. The last thing I see before my consciousness fades away is Takumi's violet eyes. Chapter 2, Moonrise. I pray there's a CG art somewhere. School and club activities have long since ended as I sit in the empty classroom by myself. Taka has been really bummed out these last few weeks since I had told him that I'm moving away. So I told him we haven't been talking much and I can't help but feel sad that we might part like this. I know that I should go home already, but I don't feel like moving at all. I rest my head on my desk and sigh. Kumi, I don't want to end things between us like this. I hear the classroom door slide open behind me and someone come inside. I don't want it to end at all. A pair of slippered feet come into my view and I look up to see a rather fidgety looking Takumi. Hey! Hey! The air between us feels so thick you could cut it with a knife. I hate it. I hate this. It never used to be so awkward. We stare at each other for a while, neither one daring to say anything first. Then, as if making up his mind, Takumi takes a deep breath and looks down at me with determination shining in his eyes. I promise that I'll go to the airport with you to see you off. My heart jumps. The previous doom and gloom mood disappears within seconds. Really? Taku jerkily nods in return, and I can't keep the smile off my face. So we don't have to part on bad terms after all. I waited for Takumi after school for as long as I could, but he never showed up. Why weren't you there, Taku? In the end, I had to go home so I wouldn't be late. I walked all the way home with a heavy heart. I nearly walked right into Mother as she walked out of the kitchen. Michiko, there you are! I was about to call you! Yeah, sorry. I had to stay behind at school for a little longer than I expected. I'm not lying exactly. I just don't want to say it out loud that Takumi broke his promise with Takumi's mother called me a little while ago. I look up, the faint feeling of hope rises in me. Maybe the whole Arai family will come see us off. Mother sighs, she looks so tired. It seems that there has been a family emergency of some kind. She wouldn't say what exactly. They wanted to come see us off, but they won't be able to make it now. That little hope that flared up in me shrivels up and dies instantly. My stomach feels so heavy I think I might throw up. Family emergency. They won't be able to come then. I'm sorry, Michiko. I know you probably want to go see Takumi now. We have to leave now or we'll miss our flight. Everything is already prepared. Just go have a quick shower and we'll head out. I went about everything as if on autopilot then, getting ready like I was supposed to. But the horribly oppressive feeling didn't stop. It wouldn't go away no matter what. We made it just on time for the flight. I spent the whole time on the plane feeling intensely lonely and sad. Well, we've never talked since that time in the classroom when he made the promise to me. Takumi didn't try to contact me even once after that. I think he probably lost someone really important. As soon as I opened my eyes, I wonder if I slept at all. I know I must have. I sit up in the bed and stretch. My mind quickly wanders to yesterday's events. The strange basement under the school, getting attacked by a teacher. Realizing that everything that happened with her wasn't some strange nightmare. All that, and finding my childhood best friend again. With all that's happened, it's hard to say which surprised me the most. I feel like my life is turning into something out of a straight fiction. While I gather my thoughts, I look out the window. I stare at the wispy, barely there clouds without much thought. In this crazy time, it's nice to allow my mind to shut down for a little. A thought suddenly pushes its way into the forefront of my mind. Huh? What the? It's evening already? I must have been way more exhausted than I realized. Now that I remember talking clearly, things might feel awkward between us, considering how we left it. I look around my room, but there are no signs of Taku ever having been here. I wonder what happened with him after I fell asleep. Did he just leave or snoop around my place first? No, he probably just made sure I'm really out and went home. I'll just call him later. Time for a shower first, though. Push myself off the bed and head in for a quick shower. I walk out of the bathroom with a towel wrapped tightly around myself. I didn't even think to take a clean change of clothes with me. Something catches my eye and I freeze. Oh my god! Takumi is sitting on my couch rubbing his eyes with a little yawn. Why are you still here? I don't mean to shriek, not really. But my voice comes out so high and so loud that Takumi's eyes snap open and right to me. I don't wait for a response. Clutching my towel, I sprint to my bedroom and slam the door shut. Elena gets the door, heart pounding. My face is burning so badly, I feel like I need to dunk my head in a bucket of ice. Oh god, no, why? Why did he have to see me like that? Why? How? It doesn't take long to put two and two together. Despite my earlier assumptions, it's not clear that Takumi stayed out there and slept over. It's obvious that I just didn't notice him on my way to the bathroom. Hey, Michiko? Takumi's voice comes from the other side of the door. I'm sorry for staying over. I was just worried about you. Worried that you might have another power outburst without me. I shake my head but quickly stop myself. Right, he can't see me. I'm sorry for yelling at you. You just surprised me. Hear a small amused chuckle. Can I come in then? No! I yell out perhaps a little too loud, to which Takumi laughs. Just wait out there. I'll get dressed and be right out. Takumi makes an affirmative noise and soon enough I hear his footsteps going away from my bedroom. I stand there for a few seconds before moving to get some clothes on. After getting dressed and calming down a bit, I finally come out the living room. Takumi looks up at me from his spot on the couch. We need to talk. Yes, we do. I agree. I take a seat on the other end of the couch, leaving plenty of space between us. Things feel beyond awkward now since I remember who he is, on top of everything that happened last night and just now. But Takumi looks completely unaffected. He continues to look at me evenly. Seemingly not wanting to waste any time, he starts talking. What was it that you originally called me for yesterday? Well, I don't think I can attend Hagiwara anymore. And this is where we're gonna stop. We didn't get a CG art, so I'm just gonna have to use a group picture for this episode, but it's fine. Anyway, I'm very hyped for this route. It's completely different from the other guys, because this guy right here is our childhood friend. On top of her wanting to, like, quit school, and Taku himself, Takumi, right? Takumi? Is that your name? Hold on, let's go back to the menu screen. Yeah, Takumi, he doesn't have powers himself, so that's gonna make the game a bit more interesting. He is so cute. I hope his route doesn't disappoint me, because he only has 2 books, which I don't know what the hell that means. Anyway, we're gonna be heading into Takumi's route, which I'm very excited for, because my love for childhood stories. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.